We talked about the birth rates, the mass immigration, the requirement of mass deportation, the reckless spending, and then corruption within the Liberals and also the Conservative Party. Because I feel like everybody talks about the conservative or the Liberal corruption, but nobody talks about the conservative corruption, right? They're all trying to play politics to the best of their abilities. And I thought our conversation was pretty good. I would have liked to have talked a bit more about why Canada hates white men, the population that are the majority tax base, and also the ones that are not reproducing, getting outproduced by the Indians, Bangladeshis, and the Somalians and the third worlders that are coming off the boat via this mass immigration. Outside of that, I thought our conversation was great. I really appreciated his ability to articulate his thoughts and his points despite the French language barrier. I thought he was very intelligent, very intellectual. And especially for my first time meeting him, I went to a scamdemic protest. When would it have been? It must have been April of 21 or May of 21. It was right before he got arrested in St. Pierre, Manitoba for running one of those rallies. And it's kind of funny. The girl that I was dating at the time went to Little Pizza Heaven. If you're in Winnipeg, you know Little Pizza Heaven. Got a tomato feta and sausage pizza. Went down to the Forks in downtown Winnipeg and went to the protest. And they had Maxime Bernier there speaking. They had Chris Sarkocha. And anybody remember him? I haven't seen him online in a while. I know he got banned from a lot of different spots. I feel like he kind of gave up fighting for Canada. But anyway, I went to a protest where Maxime was speaking, and I thought that was cool. But to actually have a one-on-one conversation with him and to actually understand, like, this is the freedom fighter speaking about these things, I thought was really cool. And again, he articulated his points very well. I thought he was spot on with pretty much everything that he talked about. How, I mean, for a politician to admit, yes, the spending is retarded. The spending is worse now than it was 10 years ago when he was warning all of Canada, like, this is going to happen. And that his conclusion essentially was Canadians don't get the message. Canadians need to suffer a bit more. They need to go through a recession. They need to really feel the pain to facilitate radical change. Because I don't know about you, I'm not interested in marginally better. Okay, yes. I use the analogy in the interview a bunch of times, but crashing the car with Pierre and the Conservatives at 60 kilometers an hour is much better than 100 kilometers an hour in the Liberals. But I just don't want to get into a car accident in general. I'd prefer to just not be there, right? That makes sense to me. And that is the radical change that I'm personally looking for in the Canadian political system. Because right now, there is no political solution. If you didn't get blackpilled by the April 2025 election, the fact that, let's be honest, it was, oh boy, how do I say this? They'll get taken off the internet. The Liberals did some things that I don't personally agree with. I think we can all agree with. Pierre didn't even say a single word about it, and we all know that it happened. He fed into the whole 21st or 51st state narrative and played along with the mainstream stuff. And then when you go to look at his actual donors, he's getting donated and funded by the same guys that are funding the Liberals for the most part. And so why do I want to crash the car at 60 kilometers an hour as opposed to 100 when I can just get out of the car? Like, I don't want to pick the worst of two evils. I want real solution to bring back the country that I love. Like, I'd rather them demolish it in 10 years than, like, if you're going to demolish the country, just get it done, right? I like it either be completely demolished very quickly so that everybody can see what's happening, or I want to get the country that I love back. And I think that's why I appreciate what Maxime is saying, because he's the closest to being spot on with all the points that he's bringing across.